Morning. I'm too lazy to get out my nice camera, so I hope that this quality is okay. I thought I would take you guys on a tour of how I order some food in bulk, even though we live in a pretty small place. So I don't have the space to store like all winter's worth of food or stuff, but I still think it's important to um, be prepared. Like we kind of live up on a hill, so if there's like a snowstorm or something, it's kind of hard to get to the grocery store. So it's always just good to have like a little extra supply um, of what you need, especially with the last year. It's like the first time I've ever gone to the store and not been able to find like peanut butter. So yeah, it's been something I've been working on improving this year. So I thought I'd show you my system because we live in a pretty small space. So mostly what I do is I have a cabinet over in our dining room that I store the big bag of stuff that I buy. It also helps as far as not going through as like tiny packages as much. Like if I wanted the amount of almonds we go through and got them at Trader Joe's, that would be so many plastic bags because I would have to buy like 10 bags at once to like have them for snacking or putting in recipes or stuff like that. Anyway, so I like buying a bigger bag that's one container, and then I store them in our dining room and then refill smaller containers in our kitchen, which I'll give you a little tour of what is important to us to have on hand for what we eat regularly. It's a lot of like oatmeal toppings or yogurt mix-ins or just like basic like grains and beans and stuff like that to make soups, or I always have coconut milk for curries, stuff like that. We also have a storage unit. We just moved here a few months ago, so I'm still haven't gone through a full year of what I want when or what's readily available. We have a really tiny fridge and freezer, and I may eventually get a chest freezer, but right now I can't do any bulk storage of any refrigerated or frozen products. So it's dry goods only. So I thought it may be interesting or helpful for you guys to see what I do. But yes, we do have a storage cage, so I may look into getting greater quantities of like potatoes, or just like getting a sense of what the temperature is there, if I could treat it kind of like a root cellar, or like we don't have a garage, so like foods that need to stay a little bit colder that you could then get like a bushel of apples, or I don't even know if bushel is the right term, but I will look into that next September because we didn't live here last September. So yeah, just trying to be creative with the space you have to not store all of your food only in the kitchen, but just the quantity that you need for a couple weeks or so in the kitchen is a really good way to make use of space in a tiny apartment. So here we go. Here's my tour. Okay, so here's the cabinet that I have in the corner of our dining room, and the top half is drink stuff, but down here is where I have most of my bulk food. So I get a lot of stuff from As Your Standard, as you'll see, and I'm still working on the quantities. It's generally 5 pounds, but I've got almonds here, a little chia seed bag, what else? Cashews. I'm setting that out because I need to refill it, and here's my steel cut oats. So anytime I need to refill it, I just grab the bag from the cabinet and refill my giant jar for the kitchen.
Container. What am I supposed to? I'm supposed to get a. Oh, we're doing muffins, you said?
Okay, so here's a tour of my main in-kitchen bulk food display and storage. So I'll just walk you through what I've got up here. I've got light tasting olive oil for making mayonnaise, which I haven't done remotely recently. A couple empty jars, some sourdough crackers, yum! Got flaxseed, chia seed, stuff I don't use as often back here. Brazil nuts I'm supposed to take for thyroid help, which I'm bad at remembering. We've got almonds, sunflower seeds. My daughter is obsessed with raisins, so that's what those are. This is mostly cashews, but a few other random chopped nuts as well. Some chocolate chips. We've got coconut flakes. We like to make popcorn. Got a bunch of dates for making different like energy bar, date ball things. Rice, which again the huge bag for that is out in my dining room cupboard. Then down here is more like base cooking stuff, so I have only one kind of lentils right now, some black beans, quinoa that I need to get some more of because I like to put this in my sourdough. That is steel cut oats, chickpeas, rolled oats for like baked goods. That is, oh, what is that? That's buckwheat that I got randomly for fun forever ago and I'm struggling to use up. So if you know a good way for me to use up buckwheat groats, let me know. Maybe I should put it in bread. I sometimes use it as like a fun, pretty topping on salads, but struggling to use it up. Let's see, I've got a tiny bit of sushi rice, tapioca starch that I use instead of cornstarch. Super cheap at the Asian grocery store. Do not get that at the normal grocery store. It's so expensive. Here's some white beans, more empty containers, some pasta that I got for kiddo play. And we've got some pears and apples right now. Then down here is kind of a random catch-all shelf. Bananas. This is my microgreens growing station. I'm trying a new one. What is it? I put the bag over here. Red clover seeds. I get most of my stuff from Azure, and a lot of their sprouting ones were out, so not really sure how this one's supposed to look. This is maybe day 2 with the germination cover off. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. My cookbooks. Over here is my hopeful greens growing station. So this is just like the bottom part of a green onion thing that I got, and it's literally just water, and it regrew all of that, which is awesome. This is a sad little twig of parsley that we'll see how it goes, and here's the remnants of some basil that I'm just curious. They're my experiments to see if what all I can regrow from them. I'm also experimenting with doing rice hulls. I feel like a common hydroponic one is leca, which seemed like they were a little too big for like these tiny little herb ones. So trying something different. You can normally get rice hulls at like a home brewery, like that's used in beer making. I got mine off of Etsy. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I go for all of my quick ingredients, and then I just refill them from my cupboard, and it works pretty well. And then down here I have my sweet potatoes, my sugar, and like baking cocoa and baking powder and stuff like that. Normally I have normal potatoes. I kind of switch if I have sweet potatoes here, and then normal potatoes, which I'm currently out of. Need to get some more. Those are my like casserole dishes. Oh dear, ignore that. This is my giant flour bin. I just kind of do a mix of whatever flours I have, so I like pre-make a bread mix, so it's generally half all-purpose, half something else. So currently it's all-purpose and spelt, because I ran out of wheat flour, which should be coming in my order next week. This is my awesome yogurt strainer, and what I use to raise my bread dough in, because I like that it's long and skinny instead of like round, so it just takes up less counter space or fridge space. The big sugar that I refill the smaller one with, and then these are the 2 kinds of flour I have right now that then gets in here. There's just a 1 cup that I bought that just lives in there. That's my flour cup measure, so I don't have to dig out my 1 cup from the rest of them. And here are my significantly less attractive containers that some of them I could transfer to jars, and then I just write down, I don't think I have any right now, I just write down like the ratio of like pasta to water and how long the cook time is on just a piece of masking tape. Yeah, what do we have? We've got cereal, we've got snack bars, we've got seaweed. Then in here we have honey, and we have a peanut butter jar. This is my first time experimenting. We go through a lot of peanut butter, so I bought this peanut butter tub, and then we are just refilling that same jar from the tub. We think this is about a 3-month supply for us. We seem to go through a pound of peanut butter a month, so that's fun. Chickpea pasta. My husband's obsessed with ketchup. Gross. Yeah. Protein powder and all of my little cooking gadgets. In here are all of my spices and vinegars and canned goods. I'm running low on canned tomato products. Should definitely refill that. But yeah, here are all of my spices that don't fit in my regularly used spice rack. And then, yeah, over here is like, I've got ghee and coconut oil, and then apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. Love my giant jar of ginger paste, ready for when the one in the fridge runs out. Yeah, spices and vinegars, and then I have like a bigger jug of olive oil or avocado oil. I just kind of switch between the two, and then I just continually refill this one. That's my go-to drizzle one, and then a spray bottle, which is awesome for like prepping a baking sheet or just like spraying a bunch of veggies down before they go in the oven. There's that. And up here is the bigger jug of olive oil I have right now, and then I generally keep a line of coconut milk boxes and then a line of broth boxes, and just kind of refill those when they're getting low, so I always have those for curries and such. But yeah, that's the tour of what I keep in our kitchen, how I'm currently doing bulk storage. I'm sure it'll morph as we spend more time in this place, but let me know if you have any questions about ideas for yeah, how to store bulk foods in a tiny apartment. See you next time.